viewers, and even though it looks like he may actually stay where he's sitting, he's making noise, but then when I get up, he gets up. He's like, "What are you coming to the kitchen to do?" "Just heating up coffee." Nothing exciting. If I can find it. I did bring it. Oh, didn't I? Oh, I put it by the coffee maker. Not a lot of milk in it, but when I meant to put it in the fridge. I know if any of the regulars come, they're gonna be like, he didn't seem like he was that, especially the ones that were here just a moment ago. They're gonna be like, he didn't seem like he was feeling well. It sounded like he had to get ready and go out. Blah blah blah. But surprise, here I am. So, just gonna wait until there's chat happening. I haven't been rolling very long yet, and if it, since kind of starting again. Yeah, no, I think I've decided. It's a lot more wintry out than I expected it to be. I mean, I can just give you a sample here. Nobody's watching it, but this is out our kitchen window, and that tree had no snow on it last night or yesterday. I don't know if that was a very good image, but if we get charged a fee, hopefully it's not much, but I'm under the weather, the dog is sick, whatever. If I'd been a driver, I may have considered it. But it almost sounds like I was really glad you know that the weather like in the day and the weather. And it wasn't totally untrue, but no, I need it, but I guess I was just doing a bunch of reasons. Because I was. He's like best likely to have a lot of that. Yeah, that's the greatest coffee, but it'll do. It'll do in a pinch. Nobody here yet. I'm really thinking if I would have known that 15 minutes later I'd be rolling again. About that 15, 25 minutes later, I may have just kept rolling. But the dog is laying over there nicely, and oh, did it? Oh no, never mind. Okay, so. But yeah, the other thing too is that the parking isn't great around there. If I did drive, um, in fact, yeah, I don't even know if that's just a staff parking. There'd be street parking, but it's not great. It's a busy road to try and get out of your car on. There is a store nearby that has a huge parking lot, but I don't drive, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, what I'm on about is, well, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till the people come into the chat, hopefully, because I know that some of the people that I was just chatting with in the previous one, less than an hour ago, I don't usually do them this back to back, but I wasn't feeling up to doing a longer stream, and then I decided, okay, I will. But like literally tonight, I think I'm just going to be too busy. Even though I'm a little under the weather. One of the plans is from home. Well, both of them are from home. And one of them is just spending some time with G because he's not at work in the evenings. So, I mean, I'd be doing that anyway. So, hopefully, if all goes well. And I'm hoping I'm feeling a bit better tomorrow. Well, sooner even, but I don't know why they don't show videos of that. Okay, we got 2 of you here though. So welcome. Sorry, I'm feeling a little bit slow and under the weather. We got 4 of you here, and I've got to think that some of them must be some of the regulars, and some of the ones that were here in the previous one who would have probably stayed longer if I hadn't wrapped up. So if you're back, glad to have you back. Yeah, I've got you back. Yeah, it's there's a bit of brightness in the sky, but it's essentially cloudy. I really should put on a light in this room probably, but the thing isn't there like it is at night. I might do that because it's just making me feel more tired. I know that sometimes I'm sensitive to the light being too bright, but right now I think I need it. Yeah, the dentist had this big circular light and then a big window, which usually has a lot of good sunlight coming through it. And then yeah, the lobby isn't that, or the reading room is not that bright necessarily from what I recall, but just a moment. I'll let chat kind of pick up. I'm only already 8 minutes in. It only feels like 2 or 3, but still, that's not very much. So. But yeah, this half there, they seem a little bit. They come across a little bit knobby, but she's really nice on the phone, and she seemed to completely understand. She's like, "Oh dear, okay." And I came this close to asking, "Is there a fee to cancel?" But I did it within about an hour and 15 notice, and if somebody's got dental thing that's really distracting them in that, then they might want as quick an appointment as they can get, and they get calls so frequently there that I've now made my spot available. But also, if they are able to have a lunch earlier or go do an errand because they don't have my appointment, they should be happy that they get the opportunity to do that. And I made this joke: one less mouse to look in, but then they like doing that. That's why they do what they do. So, but which of course most of us probably wouldn't be that interested in. So I guess it is a good kind of a segue into a bit of a topic though. What would be a dream job? What would be your dream job? Sorry, I said that twice because your sounded better than for some reason. No, it's more specific, I guess, but I will as long as I'm up to it. I guess, yeah. Hmm. Must not have been any of the regulars because it doesn't look like they stayed. And also, um, no likes, no comments. So I do have the guitar right here beside me, actually, if I think of any song. I'd also like to have the slip-ons closer by, but I don't, so I'm not too sure where they're at. But so that being said, it does look like it's getting a little bit sunnier out now. Like part of me would have actually rather have waited till like the hour, like it wasn't right at the top of the hour that my appointment was, the hour of my appointment. So it'd be just a little under an hour that I would have been canceling in. But really, that's only like half an hour away. If I wanted to stretch it to 45 minutes, then that. But I don't know. The snow is pretty thick out there. And I have decent enough runners, but and it doesn't seem like it's that windy. But no, it was a really decent, fair, yeah, no. Anyway, it's not like it's something I really wanted to do either. But even if it was, I might have canceled because yeah, when you don't drive and you have to go by foot, the weather is an important factor to consider, right? So yeah, I still have my thing for this evening on though, because like I say, that's from home. That appointment or that meeting, um, and yeah, hopefully I'm feeling well enough and get a ride to my thing tomorrow because it's not in walking distance. I can understand why the relative that I asked for the ride was waiting till Tuesday uh, to get back to me because she probably had to ask her boss. But it's now Wednesday and I still haven't heard back. But so I hope everything's okay there. I don't know. Part of me is wondering: should I try? Should I go? I know I've been wanting to go, but now that it's finally getting closer, do I? I don't know. I don't know. That might be something we could talk a little bit about. Other than that, like I say, yeah. Um, Trying to remember if there was a. Oh well, there was a topic I had for a couple of musicians that were watching the stream. I'm one as well. I'm a little bit under the weather, but yeah. So fortunately, I didn't really have great answers. Well, one of them was having difficulty getting uploads to work. I guess just not enough subscribers to go live, and then the other one, well, he said he was going to get 100 subscribers and then do originals. Why wait till then? I don't know. Also, I think he's at 50 something so far, and it seems like he just joined at the end of March. So that's not bad actually. Which must mean that he's got a pretty good, pretty good, uh, uh, like a lot of friends, um, because he's got 3 videos. One just posted today. I'm not saying anything bad about him. I know I'm talking about him. I don't think he's here yet, but either way, uh, plugging a little bit, you could say. He's got and just bodies up to talk about. He's got 2 videos that have maybe about 5 or 6 comments each, which is pretty good. I don't remember how many likes. I do remember thinking that the one I saw the other day when we met each other, it had 94 views, and it had I think it had 14 or 15 likes or so. And it was kind of like, why doesn't it have more? What's wrong with these other, you know, 80 something, if I'm doing the math right? But anyway, um, people, I guess people could be particular sometimes, and I don't know, like it's possible that maybe if somebody reminds them of somebody else that they dislike, even though it's a different person, they might be like, no, not that interested. It's possible, you know. I think he is fairly standard look, as do I, for that matter. But anyway, so that's kind of where we kind of were with the previous stream, is that, and I thought that was a good question, but it really only makes sense to, yeah, that's not good either. It really only makes sense to ask musicians, um, what songs they're going to post next. So, um, I really should focus on doing some organizing in the house too. So clutter gets done. But he was talking about a lamp, and a lamp is not exactly clutter. But that one actually not only fills the room that it's in quite well, but also does pretty good with this room. So, and if anybody saw that and thought it was alcohol, it's not. It's coffee. So, but I think that even though I'm not going out today and I usually have a bath, I think I will maybe actually have a shower in a bit. I think it'll help me feel better. I probably should have done that between the two streams, but I just started. There's 4 of you here. If you're commenting, let me just check this other tab just to see if it displays anything different. I just want to check too. I have something open on the cell phone, and it still is. So I kind of want to just keep that like that. So I'm really sorry if you're commenting and I'm not seeing them. But what we can hope, what you could do is give a like. I appreciate that. And hopefully we'll have some others in here whose comments I do see shortly. We're 17 minutes in. And hopefully they might be willing to kind of tell me any of the ones I don't notice. So, because I'm thinking that there's been a few people here. At one point, there was 5 at one time, and I'm not sorry. I must have got something in my eye. It's a little bit sensitive. I'm not noticing anything. So, other than that, they're here, and maybe that's all that it is. But why not say something? Why not and have an enjoyable conversation? You're sitting here scrolling lives, probably because you want to have a conversation with somebody. Uh, maybe you just want to watch. It's true, but I think that a lot of people are scrolling live, to meet people. And sorry, just got my cord around my foot a little bit, to meet people, and um, possibly they also have a channel themselves, and they're trying to connect with people to maybe get some curiosity about their channel. But yeah, I'm really, really sorry. I am someone who doesn't intentionally ignore the chat. But again, even though I may be gifted in some ways, I don't have the ability to see comments that are not showing up. So, and yeah, I guess one thing I will add to this is um, there. I don't know. I'm just thinking. I don't know. I think it's. I mean, maybe you're patient, maybe you're curious, maybe you're intrigued, maybe you're curious to see, if things pick up a little bit with this video, and that's why you. Okay, now there's just one person, and yeah, maybe you're also waiting to see if somebody else comes in and can help me know about your comment. And for that matter, I'm waiting for that too. Hopefully, not for very long. I mean, at the moment, I don't feel like I have a lot to talk about. Chapstick if you're curious, chapstick if you're not. I'm also gonna take out my sweater because, or either that or point the fan at myself a little bit more. Um, but at the moment, I'm only gonna have so much patience to just sit and wait for chat. The previous stream. I mean, and not just that, but like the one earlier today. Not much earlier either. Um, there was some good conversation. Like I said, there was 4 or 5 people I was familiar with. One of them didn't seem to stay along, but the others were enjoying the conversation with me and with each other. This is a good place to lounge around and have a visit, have a conversation. So let's do it. But yeah, other than that, I'm not actually feeling all that chatty. But if somebody would like to chat, then I will be willing to do so. Now that since I'm doing this on the laptop, actually, I'm not sure if it would tell me actually how many chats the video got. But I'm starting to think, yeah, that if I had been doing this on the cell phone, it might tell me that I had like, just to throw a random number out there, I don't know, 32 chats. No, it would never be that inaccurate, I don't think. But let's say it would tell me that I have 7 chats, seven comments, and I'm going to be like, well, I only saw my 2. I mean, again, it's not always the case. So put something there and let's see if I see it. Because it's not always the case that it doesn't show them. And with certain people, it seems more likely to show them. I'm not too sure why. But sorry, I'm trying to get that to look centered. But anyway, um, yeah. So we got 5 of you here. What's something you might like to talk about? It's funny. I didn't go to my dentist. I'm not going to my dentist appointment today, but it feels like I'm pulling teeth. And you're all getting less and less teeth as all goes on. So before you need dentures, say something. Just kidding. But yeah, kind of. Ooh, it looks like something's been chewing up that plant. Or is that no? It's just shiny. Never mind. Ooh, it's shiny. Somebody was asking me about an original song, original music. Do I have original music? And I said nothing that I look at that often. I'm not really going out and performing much because of the not driving, the not being interested in bars and such and such. There was a guy, well, if I said this might be pretty specific, but I just noticed last night that there was a guy that used to have long blonde hair and now it's shorter. He's got a very distinct look, let's just say that. And it's quite a bit different than he used to. Anyway, point of the matter is I'm just thinking about a venue I used to go to, but I used to live closer to it. It used to just have a different feel. Let's just say that. But I said something a moment ago that made me think of one of my songs, and it's basically about being easily amused. But yeah, I'm not feeling hugely musical. I don't really feel up to doing a full song right now. It's just, I mean, often I do, but right now I don't. It looks like the sun's coming out a bit more though, but I have the light on in this room. I mean, I know it's not the same as sunlight, but still. But there's some people think, oh, it's going on and on and on. I'm just trying to keep the momentum going. I see that I have three people here, so I want to give them something to listen to. That's why they clicked in to see what this video was all about, and that's what I'm rolling for as well, to see what comes into it. I do have an idea though, because some of them might see the notification and think that it is yeah, and he said he was reading, so um well, the activity has gotten that two more likes at least. I might like to write him up to these. Kind of showing that's kind of odd. I would have read them as a channel. I don't know if I'd know how to navigate to it. Sam, not sure if I know. I do know. So I do know a way that I can reach her again. Just a moment here. I didn't know it had been archived though for some reason. Who else was there? I don't know. We got four people here now. Hopefully there's some of the people that were here. Struggling really to get this centered. I really should just attach it. I don't know how though. These cushions also like to slide a lot. So Robert, I need to reach Sam. Um, I wonder, but it's kind of a gender neutral name, so probably shouldn't know that one. And his name is a common name in India, probably. I mean, you said what Messenger was, but didn't look like a Messenger link. So yeah, you guys help make this experience. So if there's something you want to talk about, advice, opinion, passion, but it seems like it's mostly being fine. Basically, sometimes my head is a lot more active and I have all kinds of ideas. Right now, I don't. So I really relying, especially. I mean, I'm always happy to have the chat, but especially on y'all right now. So no pressure or anything. And again, if some of you are thinking, we're putting chats. Why is he not seeing them? YT's wonky sometimes. I've noticed other people that are sometimes having difficult issues with their chat. I mean, I know that sometimes I do, and it seems like most of the time, any others that I come across don't. But I was watching two streams the other day, and one of them had to start their stream again because no chat was showing up. They were trying to get people to like. I guess I mean, they could tell that there are people there, but they were like, "Oh, give this a like or a heart," and if you're there or whatever, if you're chat. I guess if you're chatting, maybe they thought maybe we just won't roll if it's just people that are watching but not saying anything because it's not that they don't matter, but it's less of a interactive experience, right? Um, and then Mark and Kelly, it seemed to, for them it seemed to be device specific though. It it okay. Well, now this reloaded. It looks like so. Okay, let me check on this device then. So they were able to check out one of the okay. Now I'm seeing more menus there than I saw before. Maybe 31. Um, for that video, but there's a conversation happening on it. So although, and he simply didn't have a whole lot there. Hopefully, the photos there, keep them there for later. I mean, I kind of said that in the other one. I said they're kind of their usual schedule, which I can tell them later. So I can sure help you see it, even if sometimes it's just chatting and having a giggle. Since I see how to with this one, it's morning right now there. I did say I'm just starting the day, yeah. So how cool, we'll be waiting for you to come live. I'll be joining your stream. 32 mark. So many things to seek guidance on, especially on my mental health. That'd be really great because I've been really struggling. Which one was it? Um, um, yeah, one thing I will say is, when you're young, I don't want to say that it doesn't get that it, just always going to be, you know, that it's not worth it that it doesn't get easier. But that's an individual thing. But 2 years ain't nothing. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but so yeah, I think it was both a bit of disparity, which is fine sometimes, and I think it was also a bit of um, feels like I'm a good person to talk to, and I would say he's right. So, and he felt like he was reach out for for help with what they're going through. I mean, it's not a way that I think, you know, personally. I mean, I've heard other people do, but personally, if you've got something you're struggling with in your life, um, wouldn't you rather try and figure out how to feel better about it and not struggle as much with it? Um, you know, take out the feeling whether you feel like it's a strength or a weakness to ask for advice and just simply, yeah, don't you want to feel better? You know, um, and so I don't know if that's why, or he just, he knows there was a few other people there. He didn't want to bring down the screen. He could have done that, with his difficulties. But like we all would have been supportive. I just don't know how to necessarily do a one-on-one um, via YT. Although I do have a possible way, but at least he realizes that it's pretty serious when he starts losing interest in nearly everything, even things which were fun to me. Like I've heard that happened with people, and I guess I've been through that somewhat as well. But you know, if it's accessible, if it's interactive, such as live streaming, then it's an obvious option. Even appetite, yeah. But we all want to live, laugh, and love. Hopefully. So I just wanted to kind of summarize that. I didn't get into too many details. I didn't say who put it, but thank you for the second like. But I also don't think that there should be any embarrassment, in expressing such struggles. I mean, it's kind of not not anything that unusual. But I wanted to do that because, whoops, because that little short review thing, whatever you want to call it, kind of wanted to get rid of it. Even though it did garner a couple more likes since our conversation on it, I wasn't that happy with it. So, huh. And Jensen, well, I don't know if he's still here, but I'll say this. Well, now he's not gonna. No, no. So I just gotta take off this sweater. I'm warm. But yeah, he did. Wow. Hmm. He needs to be in school. He needs to get some hobbies. He needs to, um, maybe Mark Kelly weren't giving a super good impression of what I was trying to get across to him. Then he came back, but I don't think he was there even at that point. So we got three of you here. I hope you join the chat soon. What the heck is that? I don't know if that's a song. I don't know. It sounds like it could be a festival, but it's a funny sounding festival. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about it too much, but so I'm hoping and thinking that Disney does not see it. Oh, didn't I click this? I guess I didn't. Um, yeah, I'm really just waiting for there to be conversation, and I'm not seeing any. I don't know why, but I'm not. I'll look on this device again. And then it was the one just before the one with Martin. But he's probably rolling right now. I mean, he's probably working right now. So I don't know if he'd really be able to watch. Oh, hello, Sam. How are you? I was just thinking about Mark and Kelly. Um, I don't know. We've got five other people here right now, so I'm gonna put a pin on kind of something that's kind of on my mind right now, and let's just have a chat. If you haven't liked yet, please do. Um, and I canceled my appointment, so I think I'm actually coming down with something. In which case, I mean, I was considering possibly wearing a mask anyway, but I probably should go to that funeral anyway. But first of all, do I have a ride to it? Because if I don't have a ride to it, and it's not somebody who I have a lot of mutuals with, then I wouldn't be going. And I mean, it's a big world, so if anybody thinks, "Oh, is this who I think it is?" Uh, it might not be. But anyway, point of the matter being is that yeah, I was waiting for a while to find out when the funeral was happening. I found out it's tomorrow, but if I can't get a ride and I'm not feeling well, I won't be going. So, and that was well. I mean, at least I had my appointment tonight because these were the plans for this week. But I guess I booked it probably at the same time the Great Mornings happens, and possibly I have the workshop. Oh, I just need to check something for a moment. Um, but how are you doing? So we got four of you here. I'm seeing. Sam, can you tell me if you're seeing any comments other than what I put there that aren't necessarily obviously trolls, and if they are, can you take care of them because I don't see them. I only see your two and my two. Um, I should try and go to that. What is the 15th? Today is the 8th, and it is okay. Okay, then there's just been some quiet people here, but that's okay. Well, I'd rather they be comfortable chatting, but who knows? As long as that I feel like it's kind of redundant, but I'm saying it to different people sometimes, than other times. If you're enjoying this and you're feeling happy and positive, great. If you're feeling judgmental and like if you're judging and thinking what you may or may not realize is negative thoughts, then go watch something you'd rather enjoy. I want to keep this with the people that you know. I'm not necessarily saying you have to chat, but I don't know why one wouldn't. Okay, and two out of the four left. So okay, I feel maybe we have the people here now that are meant to be here, and yeah, I know exactly who they are now. So I hope you both liked. Yeah, Anch, I've canceled my appointment, so I'm here. Um, I was just looking to see um, that I didn't double book something. I hope I didn't, because then I'll be canceling uh, my dentist appointment twice. But I didn't feel like I did. Uh, what day is the 24th? Oh, I could pull it up on here, actually. Never mind, just a minute. Okay, it's a Friday. Yeah, I think they're always Fridays. And she didn't have next week, which means that I have two things on, possibly also Cat. So I have three things on next week. So that's kind of nice. And actually, maybe even four because no, the workshop starts the week after that. Okay. Very interesting that your message just came in and replied to mine now, Sam, because you've already been here for a few minutes. Okay, well, you have any particular plans? And also, oh, you're talking about Ruth. Do you have any particular plans? And yeah, do you have a lot of people that you hang out with out of curiosity? And Sam, is Jerry around right now, or so there's three of you here? Although I guess I think I only know who two of you are. I know several. Anyway, that song came up twice, but it's not necessarily a favorite. But again, what songs have you been enjoying lately? That's another way to ask the question. Okay, there's two of you here 43 minutes in. I'm just gonna also say, so Sam, you'll be familiar with Jensen, right? From Mark and Kelly. And while back, he'd said something annoying. Let's just say that. Uh, and it felt personal. Um, I was really quite surprised. He's a very relaxed. Also, he's underage. Like I mean, and I'd really rather that my content be 18 plus. Unless it's someone I've known a long, long time, and I know I'm not doing anything weird and all that. But anyway, yesterday he kept asking, about me in the chat, and I've since blocked him. And I will continue that story in a moment because it's really personal. But anyway, yeah. Basically, he's just being weird. That's what I'll say. So, uh, but I think, but he may have been watching the previous one, or maybe even a part of this one. Um, and yeah, I mean, hey, I wouldn't blame him necessarily if he likes my vibe, if he likes what I'm putting on the channel. But because really, who wouldn't, right? No. But um, hmm. um, but I don't know. And if he'd wanted to apologize for the thing, he could have just said, "Can you let him know I'm apologizing for the thing?" Or it's up to me. He could have anyway. We got five of you here. Um, I'm thinking that there might be something in this group that I forgot that I was in that might be a good topic for this. Glass of wine, is that what this preview says? Whoops. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a bit more into the day there. It's true. But part of me feels like I would want one, and part of me feels like I'm already feeling slightly nauseous. And so I probably shouldn't. But heck, if it puts me to sleep, I'm in. I don't have cable. I don't watch a lot of sports now. For a reason you may guess, but wine o'clock. Okay, now stop whining about it. No, just kidding. But isn't that any time as long as you're not driving? Okay, keep that there. But like, well, no, yeah. Anyway, um, so is there anything stressful going on in your life right now? I don't think I'm in channel mode, and one of the viewers doesn't even know that that's something that I do, and I don't know how to think about it. So I mean, we're just getting familiar with each other, but it's not like it's a bad thing. But yeah, I also don't really feel up to it. Uh, but yeah, if there's anything that you guys are particularly struggling, that's what I wanted to say. Anj. There's no embarrassment in talking about your struggles, like because I don't know how we'd make it one on one. Whoops, chat disconnected, taking the edge of. Is that a song? I don't know it. Um, Sorry there for a moment. It said chat had disconnected, but then it quickly got connected again. Um, I mean, there's a topic that I saw right away connected to this group, but I don't know if it's one I really want to talk about. I don't strongly believe in it, so um, but yeah, like you say, there's no embarrassment in talking about the things that we're going through. I often feel like, not in all things, but in most things, every person is going to go through similar stuff. Um, at some point in their life, especially if they live to a ripe age. You know, but kind of just in general. And I don't want to be ageist. I don't want to say that a young person maybe hasn't been through a lot, and I don't want to say that all older people have been. But this is an interesting image. Hmm. Wasn't exactly what I thought it was. Yeah, I would consider doing that as well, but usually in the evenings we have a nap and then I do that. So to have two, what I might have is a shower shortly though. I'm thinking I might. That's funny. I was just looking at a song of theirs the other day, but I only know one. Her name so. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Also, has there been anything interesting that you've done in your life recently? Anything especially exciting and that you might want to talk about? That's kind of a funny quote, but I don't particularly like it. But it's kind of ironic to this day, right down to the pine sprigs. Who is this? What do they want? Where's the phone? Thought it was over here, but it doesn't sound like it is. Must be in the kitchen. Hello? Saw something on the caller ID. Okay, that's telemarketing. I hope there was no fee to canceling that appointment because I had good reasons. It wasn't just I don't want to come to the dentist today. I mean, it was also that, but and I don't think I have a cold or a flu. I just feel bleh. It's like I don't feel up to a 15-20 minute walk in the snow today. Thank you. There and back, and also sitting in the dentist chair. Like, yeah, I'm good. Good in the hood. Thunder Bear, where are you? Just kidding. Bradley, if you choose not to find joy in the snow, you will have less joy in your life, but still the same amount of snow. Yeah. Um, Pretty much at this point in time, pretty much. As you know, I do some life coaching, but I'm kind of just starting off my self employment. So, so yeah, it's a bit of a slow start. I also am a musician, like I say. I'm also I get jobs in the arts every now and then, and I do spiritual healing. Now, that does not necessarily mean religion. Let me kind of introduce this then, okay? It's like, okay, and then I'm going to ask you. It doesn't necessarily mean religion, but it can coexist with religion. I'm not anti-religion. What I don't like is when somebody hops into a chat. I mean, some people, it's their guiding force. It's their where they kind of, you know, what kind of, you know, just how they are, basically, right? And if they're wishing well, I'm against the S word. I prefer to say that sometimes we as people make mistakes, and I mean there are certainly some people that are better people. There are some people that are doing some pretty terrible things in the world, uh, and to others. Um, and so I guess if I was to call anything a sin, I'd say that. But other than that, it's like, no, you just, you're human making mistakes, hopefully, learning from them, trying to do good, you know. Basically, I don't really like the ideology of realism. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about religion. I'm just thinking, I don't even know why I started talking about it just now, but I'm sure there was a reason. But basically, that maybe you realized, maybe you didn't. But yeah, just for some people to just jump right in with that kind of stuff, or for it to be like solely how they communicate. Do I live alone? Well, I have a dog, and then the other person that is on the channel with us sometimes. And I mentioned, remember I said earlier that tonight that was one of the plans, is just to kind of hang. I guess maybe you didn't realize I lived with that person, but yeah. So well, and actually, yeah, actually, I answered that question for you the other day, essentially too. But it's okay, like literally just the other day. But anyway, so but that person does, like I say, I'm trying to be self-employed. I've also got some health issues. That person does work. What is it, 8 hours a day? So I mean, we connect on the phone or sometimes by message, um, once or twice throughout the day. But largely, yeah, I am alone during the day, and I think sometimes we have to be able to be okay with that. Sometimes we have to find things, whether it's watching videos and chatting on live streams, whether it's hobbies, to to and you're 18, but I believe you live with your parents, sounds like, to you know enjoy our alone time, but we have to have the balance. We absolutely have to have the balance. If there's too much of it, it's not a great thing, right? So we got six of you here, and I think two of you chatting, maybe three. Oh, by the way, happy birthday in advance uh, um, to your Anch. Uh, yeah, if the others watching are open to chatting, and if I see them or somebody tells me what you're saying, I'll be happy to have you be part of the conversation. Um, but otherwise, you know, uh, otherwise, yeah. But I do want this. I put a comment above a comment that I put uh, that that um, was kind of plugging one of my other recent videos that I think anybody who struggles with mental health would especially perhaps benefit from. And there was some really great comments that it got during the video as well. But right now I'm focusing on this one, and we might talk a little bit about mental health as well. Um, so let me read this quietly because I just need to kind of stop talking for a few minutes here. Um, I've got to say though, I mean, one thing is that like, Anch, you're not very old. I know you feel like you're going through a lot, and that kind of it doesn't only come with being young, but and I mean, for anybody who's wondering, he's almost turning 19. Uh, and I'm not lying. He said it above. He said his birthday is on the is in a couple weeks. Um, anyway, you know, it's the hardest thing to the younger generation that are struggling. I don't feel like I can promise that life is easy, or that I'm just gonna get rid of this. It's annoying me. I don't think I need it that much. Anyway, I mean, if the people aren't liking the content, they can watch other stuff. But as far as that pillow, it's not attack. It might have been better if it was, but anyway. But yeah, so I mean, your question is a little vague, though. I will say that it seems like it's asking about being musical. I've already told you you're great. You know, you're playing simple chords in the guitar. I mean, if you want to learn lead guitar and get fancier, you might be looking more at an electric then, which you may or may not have, but you can do some stuff on the acoustic too. But I don't think it's necessary. I mean, that being said, if I was to say, do I think I would benefit from doing that? Maybe, maybe. And it's not that I dislike listening to that style of playing. And but I mean, I was in bands when I was younger, like in my 20s and in my teens, and I've never really played that style. But what I would say is it might be something worth looking at. It's interesting that it came up because I almost didn't think I had any suggestion as to what to do better with your music because I thought you're already great. I mean, some people will say, well, we can always get better. True, but I think sometimes we have to be satisfied as well, I think would be the way to put it. We have to understand that, we're decent and that's okay. Um, you know, um, and anything we learn along the way naturally without really trying to, great. But what I would say is before you develop things like arthritis, and some young people have it, but you probably got a few years, a number of years before you end up getting it. And mine's not that bad, but I do have it. Before you develop arthritis, and while you still have good dexterity, that's something I would say is learn. I'm not a super technical player, so I don't know if I would necessarily say scales, but that's kind of part of what it would be, you know, um, because right now you seem like a rhythm guitarist. Like I say, there's nothing wrong with that, but and vocally, I don't really have any suggestions. I think you've got a few comments. You're still new to posting it. How long have you been playing for, by the way? Um, yeah. Okay, so that's not super long either. Just keep you know learning about yourself and yeah, and I know that you're in a culture too where like maybe it's less encouraged to talk about certain things, but honestly, what I would suggest, and I'm happy to be here for you, and hopefully you have other people in your life who you are comfortable talking with as well. But otherwise, like if it ever came to where you ended up feeling like you needed to tell your parents something, and uh, you worried how they'd take it, I wouldn't necessarily say use super strong language where they might get worried, but maybe, say, well, wouldn't you rather me be happy and well and talking about it than not? Because if they're good parents or loved ones in general, I would think the answer would be yes. If not, I don't want to say that that's emotional abuse, but it's emotional neglect. That's, I guess, what I would say. And I'm not of your culture, and I've actually had the only parent I've had most of my life at times been like that. And honestly, even though things are a bit better these days with her, um, I don't really think that that's changed. I mean, we are different. So, I mean, we're not going to talk about girls. But I mean, I'm also an adult. Like, I mean, I don't, you know, we're not going to relate about it. I don't really need advice about them. Um, but I know that that's something we were talking about the other day. And I did give you some advice, and hopefully it helped, and hopefully you were thankful for it. I don't know if there's any other advice that I have on that topic. Pillow's back. There. That's not bad. Now, if it stays there, then that's good. Um, yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, there's a part of me that wanted to ask, what it doesn't look centered. Okay, see, when I did that, but then when I do this, sorry. Anyway, there was a part of me that wanted to ask, I kind of alluded to it the other day when we met, when I was seeing if there might be a way to help you kind of repair that relationship. Um, I wanted to get a bit more specific about some of the things that were happening, perhaps at the same time, um, because everybody goes through relationship difficulties, whether they're in one or not, at some point in their life, and it. I'm sure you realize that, but it might be a little bit hard to understand since this is kind of your first time. But again, there's no shame in it, and we're not saying necessarily that you've done anything wrong either. But you did say that it was toxic, and we all know what that word means. But then again, I wonder if we have different definitions to it, perhaps. No, I feel like I need to know more specifics. So if you'd like to talk about it, I know it's something that you're struggling with right now. We can. If anybody else has anything they'd like advice about or an opinion about, and again, Sam or Ansh, if I'm obviously not reading comments that are obviously not trolls, if you could just put them in the comments yourself because I'm seeing yours. I mean, I don't know if there's any that aren't showing, but I'm of yours, but I am seeing some. I think I'm seeing all of them, but yeah, it's a little bit sunnier out now, but Okay, yeah, and I bet be specific about devices on the phone and I mean devices at the table and about you being there and eating all together. So maybe we'll see you after dinner. Or see if I'm rolling that long. It's been an hour, and then the other one was almost an hour. And as you know, I'm not feeling at the best right now, but you're welcome. Yeah, even if it's not that wind, and I don't know what it'd be like. It might look like it did a little earlier on the way back. So, and I'm really not feeling up to being there though. I mean, most of the time I wouldn't. Sam, are you still there? I noticed you said that you're allergic. You just can't have the. Oh, so you can have the unlocalized anesthetic then? I don't know. I think I've heard of that allergy before. I think I have. Kind of been worried a bit about Mackenzie. I know Leanne. I'm still here doing my. Oh, interesting. And that looks like that. Interesting. I didn't know you made that stuff. So G makes a lot of or not often, but he has made incense before. He has like a gazillion bottles of essential oils, amongst other things, bowls in the basement. Mostly for making incense. I'm not really sure why else he has them, but he really should do something with them or try and sell them, perhaps. Um, and yeah, partly because it's winter and the heat's been on, like in the summer. I mean, the heat's on, no problem, more comfortable, sweater. But also because I get dry skin. So I don't know if that's necessarily anything to do with the anemia, but so yeah, I use quite a bit of lotions. Not so much potions, but if they make dreams come true, then I'm open to it. And then it looks like you put either a bingo dabber or my first thought was lipstick, which is really not a lotion or a potion. But anyway. Okay. Well, I think I've heard of lavender being good for that kind of thing. Um, oh my gosh. Well, you've been around. Used to be on morphine and then fentanyl. That's pretty heavy stuff, obviously, right? It didn't touch your pain. Didn't help your pain, is what I think you're saying. They may have made it worse too, right? Hmm. I need to take a moment to praise Rachel and hope that she's doing okay. I'd like to take a moment to introduce you to JP. Oh. And yeah, sort of feeling like singing. I know I should have lunch soon. See, I thought that I didn't know. Well, yeah, I'll have a bit of that rice. Maybe more pizza. I don't know. Really like to manage to be able to go out and get something. I think we're about $15 away from payout, but I don't know how much YT takes. And they really shouldn't, I should be premium by now. But that was for what, too? Those drugs were awful, just horrible. It was up to my ears. I bet. I bet. I'm feeling inclined. We had four, now there's two of you here. I'm feeling inclined if you don't mind, to ask you what was going on in your life before you started, before or when you started doing those two things. I just feel like it might be an opportunity to kind of help prevent others from going through it and to learn about each other. It sounds like that was a while ago and that you're mostly doing better now. And it also somewhat sounds like maybe you're still dealing with I don't if it's been a number of years I wouldn't imagine that it's still in your system. I mean some people have I mean I guess you never overdosed, that's why. Because some people die from that kind of stuff, you know. Like I don't know if it was ever used as a medical treatment, probably not. But in fact, JP did. I've been fighting chronic pain and multiple autoimmune illnesses for 40 years. Yeah, like I say, I have anemia. I still don't know the difference between costranditis and Tessa, so I said, whatever one it is, I said, I couldn't lay on my back for too long last night. But yeah, our dog was sick through the night. Seems fine now. But I don't know if Tessa is more for females. That was my guess, maybe. I mean, I've worn prosthetics before, but not often. But and then also, obviously, I have a feminine side. Obviously, most guys do. They just don't necessarily access it, for lack of a different way to put it. Yes, I've got a lot of experience with the drugs prescribed, etc. Yeah, I was watching PRR recently, and Drew said, "Congratulations, thank you to your service to someone who worked in pharmaceuticals." But I think it was sarcasm. He's just always trying to be funny because he's a comedian and he's a public figure. It's twice now this week. The other day too, I was talking a little bit about. But anyway, I'm not going to go into my feelings about meds right now. So the only reason that you took those things was because of. I know we're having a mature topic right now, but I wouldn't. I'd be telling people 18, under 18, probably to not be watching at this point. That being said, unfortunately, some of those people are also doing, struggling with that kind of stuff. They maybe have parents that are kind of not the greatest, and maybe their school life isn't great, and so you look for coping mechanisms, right? And sometimes not always great ones. So like I said, I ask uh, Sam about this because maybe it can prevent somebody from going down that path. Like, was it just chronic pain, or was there other reasons that you like those? Those are more like hard drug addictions. Those are more like a different way to put it. Those to me seem like more like street life drugs. Um, I'm not too sure if you've ever been homeless or whatever. I mean, the good thing is that you're not struggling with those anymore. The defining difference, like you can notice it, like because I don't seem to notice it. I just feel it, like notice it as far as like visually. Oh, okay, yeah, mine are the. I don't know how many ribs one has, but mine are usually the lower ribs. I thought that they were all like as swelling or inflammation, which could be similar. Anyway, it looks like it's just you here right now, I think. Anyway, so basically what Jensen did, now that it feels comfortable to bring that again, is that and we got double 13s, he has some content on his other page. He seemed to have rejoined and subscribed to me again. So I hopefully have hit him from the channel again because, you know, yeah, first of all, that was sketchy. Second of all, I didn't appreciate that thing he said to me the one time. And third of all, um, yeah, he's kind of underage. So I never would have thought he would do that either. He'd seen me 2 or 3 times and seemed to enjoy his time on the streams, but that was a while ago. It was just weird. But I do think that the youth look up to me. I would say that can be sharper or stabbing because that feels like okay, okay. Then it's costume starters indeed that I have. Okay, and not daily, thankfully, but pretty sure I suffer from chronic fatigue daily. I'm pretty sure I actually if I remember correctly, I don't know how much he'd want to talk about this or not, and I don't remember what the reasons were other than maybe for epilepsy. G was on morphine for a while and quite a high dose, and he's lucky he didn't die then. Um, well, I mean, normally you wouldn't know what to ask for. It's them that makes a suggestion. Which with medication or treatments, just because somebody is a doctor and they should know what they're talking about, we should also realize that we can say no. I don't want that. Thank you. What other options do I have? And if they say none, get a second opinion or a third, you know. Um, anyway, I still remember once I was at a mall. I know it's a great segue. Once I was at a mall, and these random people, I think they may have been a part of an outreach group or just generous. I don't remember if they had one or two boxes of pizza, but they came up. There was and again, it's a huge world. This probably isn't that unique, but they had a piano on site for anybody who wanted to play it. It was a thing that the city was doing for a while. These painted pianos. I know other cities have done similar with different things. Anyway, and basically, I was hanging out with somebody there, and two or three people came up to us and said, "Do either of you want any pizza?" I mean, who turned down pizza? Later, my mother said, she wasn't with us at the time, and she said, well, it could have been laced with something. But honestly, if it was, I didn't have any bad reactions to it. And it was the best pizza I'd had, I felt like, or it was like really good. I mean, pizza toppings are pizza toppings. I don't know what it was. And I mean, it wasn't that distinct, but it was really, yeah, I'm kind of craving some because the one I made this morning, uh, I almost burnt it. And it's frozen pizza. It's not restaurant pizza, but he got a bunch of it. So, right. Okay. Well, see, you've obviously got it a bit worse than I do then, even with the other things you're doing for it. Like, I would say I notice it I don't know if I'd say every day or every 2 or 3 days, but anyway. What else are people dealing with in their life? Let me be here to offer some support um, and that kind of thing. Just going to check, see if potato is here. Doesn't seem to be, no. I mean, I could say some of the things I'm going through, but I mean, that kind of naturally comes up if it's meant to. Again, I'm wishing everybody well, you know, to be there for each other in this life makes it a better experience for the most part. And if you just got here, I am a bit under the weather. I've been rolling for a little more than an hour. I also did a stream a little earlier. Don't really want to my right now, but I think there was some good moments in it. I don't know. I know it wasn't my best, and I'm questioning whether to keep it posted. But again, I was just starting my day then, under the weather. At the time, I was trying to decide if I was going to an appointment, which would be happening in 10 minutes if I was, but I'm not. So, and she was saying, well, it's not like I just didn't show up. It's not like I gave absolutely no notice. I gave as much notice as I could based on the weather and how I was feeling. And yeah, I hope that we aren't charged for a missed appointment. I think that might be the biggest thing. As long as you let them know with at least some notice, and like I say, I had good reasons, so that I didn't necessarily have before I woke up. So anyway, also, if there's a song anybody would like me to sing, like I'm probably only going to roll for another half hour at most. I think it's going to be a long day. It's not even 11 o'clock here, so feel blessed if you're almost through your day, especially if you got things that you're excited about coming up, or you're just looking forward to bedtime because yeah, it's. I mean, at least we do have one, but it's not for a number of hours still. So, well, pizza I would say is probably one of them. I eat a lot of pasta as well. I have ARFID. I'm pretty sure I do. Autism spectrum and the pickiness with eating. Um, and it somewhat annoys me, but it's cheaper at least, or at least not much, but a little bit. And I'm sure that G's pretty happy that I don't cook seafood, and that kind of stuff. Um, hearing the birds, oh yeah. It's too tasty. Um, because he doesn't really eat it. His former partner was a chef. Actually, it was very ironic. We went to that place um, Friday night, I think it was, um, and we were seated like right along the kitchen. We went in there. It was the weirdest experience. Again, it's a huge world. I'm probably not giving anything away. We had to scan a card. We went in the side entrance. It was a bar. There wasn't a lot of tables, and they for a while it wasn't that busy. I think it was like close to 8 o'clock, and for a while the two ladies that worked there, and there was one one person was like Judy, and then the other person I think was a customer, and they weren't really motioning to come to the table. Then she finally did, and I don't think she came with menus. And I says, "We're here for dinner." She says, "Oh, I'll bring you over to the restaurant." And she said the only spot there that might have been available, and it was very busy for a long weekend. But again, maybe they did their plans other days. They didn't want to cook otherwise. It was fairly busy there. She said we might only have a spot at the bar, but then we ended up getting this table practically right in front of the kitchen. I mean, when we go to the other place, which may or may not only be local, so I'm not going to say it, there's like four seats that are pretty close to the kitchen there too. I mean, some places it's more like that than other places, right? But yeah, it was ironic because G's former partner used to work there as a chef, and apparently he didn't cook a lot at home. Okay, I've just given that away there, but maybe he's lying. One of us is anyway. Didn't cook a lot at home, um, so like he would have lunch there, and so we don't know who G is. Have lunch there, or skip meals, perhaps at times. And that was back many, many years ago when things were more affordable. But yeah, when I think back at it, I think there may have been a little bit of symbology that we were that close to the kitchen, and I don't even know if G really put that together. Heck, I almost didn't. Mark said he'd give up chocolate over pizza. Would you? Yeah, I think so. So you were there the other day, and other people are welcome to join the conversation as well. You were there. I didn't notice you there. Must not have been there very long. And Kirsty wasn't there at all, which was unusual. Thunderbear was. She wasn't here right before, but anyway, yeah. I always known that my grandfather that I had in my life was never much of a chocolate fan, and it's not that I hate it. I'm particular about it. I don't like the really dark chocolate as far as, but you may have the joke that Thunderbear was making though. Um, I resonate on liking that. But anyway, but if it's too cocoa strong, don't like it. If it's too caramely, don't like it. I had Have you ever had those chocolate bars that have rice in them? This would be a good segue to have my rice, but it's not even 11 o'clock yet. Oh, you did? Okay. They're okay. They're a little too crunchy. I don't know what I like best. Maybe a coffee crisp? I don't know. I really don't do chocolate very much. Maybe a chocolate fondue. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I do like Lindor. They're nice and velvety, and they're good. I like Ferrero Rocher. Used to only have them around Christmas, but sometimes they're pretty cheap. But yeah, I'm not. Whereas pizza's a meal, right? Yeah, yeah. So it's not that I hate chocolate, but I'm not like, ooh, chocolate, give me chocolate, chocolate cake, chocolate chip cookies, But anyway, but yeah, frozen pizzas. Even this new brand, I think though it was a little bit that it kind of started to cook kind of quick, and I almost burnt it. But I'd rather have restaurant pizza, but can't afford it right now. I make the best brownies. Yeah. So see now, brownies have to have walnuts in them for me, or some sort of nuts in them, or be very unique. Um, or well, but actually not often. but I don't think I've ever had it, and I'm not too sure that would be of interest to me. Like I say, it's got to have the crunch and nut flavor to it. So, and it was really funny in one of his videos. He said something about pretty much putting anything on bread. When I still I think about it's stuck with me. This meal I went out for with a relative of mine recently. Um, it was just a really nice dining experience. Anyway, I'm sitting there putting pasta on my bread, and she's like, "That's different." I was like, "Is it?" I mean, not to me, it ain't. You know, um, makes both more interesting because bread's kind of boring, to be quite honest. Yeah, they love carbs and sweets. He must have a good metabolism. I mean, I'm not saying that she's like morbidly obese or anything, but she's bigger than him. Right? I was thinking of inviting them into this, but he's probably working, and so is she, for that matter. So, if it had been in the afternoon, anyway, we've got 5 of you here. We got 1 of you chatting. Am I not seeing comments, or are you really being that shy? Do you really think I bite? um, once I get my new chompers from the dentist, I'll be biting. All right, so just kidding. My grandson is autistic, and I will only eat bread and butter, and will only eat bread and butter and plain crisps. See, I like things with flavor. I don't like plain, but I'm still particular. It's interesting, the autism connection. I don't know if it's because they're just, and I don't want to say that I'm necessarily sensitive, but I don't know if it's just because autistics are kind of more sensitive in general. I've never really thought what the connection is. Is that what you think it is? Hmm. Like I don't mind spicy stuff. If I've got enough beverage with next to me, I'm. I mean, I don't hugely like it. I prefer to feel comfortable eating than like, you know. Um, but I'm just trying to think if there's something I haven't had in a long time that I'd like now. But if we ain't got it, we just got groceries the other day. If we ain't got it, we likely can't afford to get it. Unless I say take it off of my next check, which I might will do because I really don't want more of that pizza. We don't have much rice. I'm able to eat since I didn't go to my appointment, and I want pasta for dinner. Oh yeah, G loves candy. He's lucky he's not diabetic. He says, "Oh, I was checked for that years ago, and I'm fine." I'm like, "But that was years ago." You know, like I've stopped following one guy on here, and there's a couple other reasons, but one of the reasons is because he didn't really seem to care whether he got diabetes or not. Like, I mean, I understand, you want to have treats and you want to have the sweets, and sometimes you can be ambivalent about life, but and maybe it's a sense of humor, but he literally has said on a couple of his posts, working on type 1 diabetes. It's like, and if you're gonna, be that serious about it, and die like my friend, then I don't want to lose it. I mean, the thing is, well, whether it's health or other circumstances, we're all going to die. So we can't avoid making connections just because we worry that they're going to die. I mean, if you're lucky enough to have a spiritual gift, and feel connected to them still, that's great. It's still hard though. I would say it still would be hard, because they're not in the physical. Um, but yeah, so basically, but yeah, he drinks a lot of soda, more than he used to, and fruit juices that I kind of doubt if they're made with actual fruit. A lot of them, even if it says that they are. Also, they don't seem. Well, some of them don't know how to spell fruit. I think they spell it FRUTE or something like that. And yeah, candy. Although well, and candy bars. I hardly ever eat candy actually, and it's not because I mean I don't like the sour. I don't like overly sweet unless it's in my coffee or some other sort of dessert. You know, but yeah, I'm trying to watch my health for the most part. I mean, I understand the ambivalence a little bit. I do. But anyway, so but yeah, it depends. It's a taste thing and a texture thing, right? I think. But I'm trying to think if there's something I used to like that I would like. Like I say, I'll say put it on my next check, and I'm ordering from Skip. I'm in a group online. Let me go take a look at that and see. You deleted a message. Why? No, I'd like him to be getting work in that. Let me just see here. Funny, I was just thinking about that place about half an hour ago, and then they got a post. I've never had their pizza. I also don't know if they're on Skip, though. Just a moment here. Sam, do you see any comments that I'm not addressing that obviously aren't trolls? Just so I don't have to go to that tab, because I'm trying to figure out what tab to go to Skip on. Because I know sometimes it's hiding comments. I just know it. And yeah, I also have to decide whether I'm going to reorder that pin. Just a moment, please. Yeah, I don't know why some people are being so shy. All I'll say is, be good people, have good thoughts about others. I'm a good person. I want the best for you, even though I don't know you. So, and I ain't just saying it. Unless, of course, you're a really bad person, in which case, I hope you get what you deserve. Just kidding. Now she's saying hi too, to see if we can get a response out of here without having to pull teeth. Okay, I'm just going to quickly check. Locate with denied permission to find you, please, in the address again. That is it. Sorry, it's just being a bit wonky. But I am hungry. Please enter the address manually. I don't know if that's manually, but okay, here we go. Sorry. Have to do a poll for. Yeah, feel free to set one up if you know how. That might make things might bring some intrigue into things. I mean, we got 3 other people watching, so they must be intrigued. They've gotta be. And why wouldn't they be, to be quite honest? Sorry. Just kidding. Mostly, somewhat. There's something I might want to talk about my tomorrow's plan, which I was possibly going to talk about my cat too. I think I'll see. But even if I feel okay tonight, how do I feel tomorrow? Do I have the ride? These are the deciding factors. What I maybe should look at is say, how do I accept if I don't make it there? Not like it's the first time I've not made it to something, but well, I don't know why that one's grayed out, but this one isn't, and the delivery fee is about $1 cheaper. But making rainbow salad to go with it. You mean coleslaw? Yeah, my dad ate a lot of steak, so therefore so did I growing up. And I think you might remember that came up in Mark and Kelly's stream, and he asked if it was because he passed away that I stopped eating it. It's like, no, maybe partly. I mean, when I was still pretty young, so I wasn't doing a lot of the cooking. And I kind of feel like my mother stopped making it then too, and maybe that was her reason. I don't know, but I'm not really into it, and I actually don't even like to talk with people about it, because I mean, people can eat however they want, what they want, but I mean, don't tell me how you like your steak, because one, I'm not making it for you, and two, if you give the wrong answer, I'll never forget. But speaking about pizza earlier, although I kind of would rather order something different, but there is a place that, and I've heard mixed things about them. They have almost a 7-star rating on Skip. Um, Apparently they went downhill, but I've been to them 2 or 3 times recently, and they've not been bad. I once read the reviews again. It's a big world, so I don't think this is that particular. But I once read the reviews just simply to see what people said about the server, who is their main server. There was one girl that we had there. She was really friendly. She was really nice. But the other guy, I wondered if people would be hating on him if they sensed a certain thing, and they mostly just seemed to think that he just was really charismatic, essentially. Minus the cherry tomatoes, and I'm in. But anyway, they have pizza here, and it's not super far from where we live either. But I haven't been to them a ton, and I don't think I maybe once had their pizza. And I don't remember hating it. So, oh, they also look like they have a bunch of new poutines. Because is it poutine week or something? I mean, I know we're Canadian, but okay, maybe not a bunch. Two. Like with the white sauce. As long as that racist towards pizza. Just kidding. Sorry, bad joke. Please forgive me. That does not look like a taco salad. I guess that's the cheese. I have to go upstairs in just a moment for under five. If you haven't liked yet, folks, please do. There's always something to like, in my opinion, and that about most videos. I would say about most videos. I'm not just being, talking with an ego. Although I do believe there is such a thing as a healthy ego. So, or maybe the 3 likes that it's gotten are already are the people that have already. Well, I can go for 2 actually. Yeah. So let's do that music poll while I'm gone, uh, very briefly. And do you know how to set it up? Because I'm not too sure I do. I haven't done one of those in a while. Nothing's happening when I click the 3 dots at the corner, although I feel like something's supposed to. So, oh, uh, no, I don't see. Okay, I do see an option. Um, See, I don't know if that suggestion that you had though. Add an option. See, and it was a fine enough suggestion, but it seems to be giving options of yes, no, and you can add an option, but what do I call it? Like, I don't want yes, no to pick a song. Like, if somebody doesn't want me to sing a song, they just won't ask for one. If they want me to sing a song, just tell us what it is. And I don't know what to make the third option. Might make more sense if it went again. Should I sing a song? Yes, no, maybe. But you have no choice. I will be singing a song. I'm not super up to it, but no, I can sing a little bit amongst looking for my lunch and chatting. The pizza looks okay. Yeah, and as far as Red Sauce pizzas, I don't mind them, but I'd sooner say that a pizza shouldn't have like a red or cream sauce base. Although I have had it obviously before, and they're okay if it's done well. You know, uh, I'd sooner say they should have pineapple on them than a non-tomato sauce. I know, I know. but it's not that gross compared to a lot of things like I say seafood, for instance. Okay, I have to run upstairs for under 5 minutes. When I get back, I expect people, whether it's just Sam or otherwise, to be asking for songs. Well, you know that the one I did earlier and some of the other ones I do are quite good. Yeah, so at least it's not just me that's not jumping out too. I hope Kirsty's okay. I actually have a question for her. I don't know whether I should ask her. Genius. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say I wouldn't go that far, and it's not because because I don't want to get the hate, but I kind of feel like the people that are watching and not saying anything. I mean, tell me otherwise. But then again, if you don't tell me, then it's kind of be like, okay, I guess that was right then, and like I'd like you to go on to watch another thing because part of me feels like it's a little bit of what I get from the people that aren't saying it, and I mean, it makes it kind of not motivating. But then having someone at least that's chatting makes it motivating. So I'd like to talk about my well again. I don't know how much I want to talk about it but I need a topic for my appointment tonight unless I reschedule it. But she's scheduled it in tonight, but she might not have had many plans because she works during the day. And yeah, I know that we're used to winter here, but we all feel like it should be spring by now, and sometimes it would be. And it's looked like it was going to be a couple of times, but yeah, so she might not be that disappointed. But because otherwise I maybe could talk with her for 10 or 15 minutes unless something pops up. But it's kind of going to be about that in the one thing. But I need to know something before I can decide. I need to come into that day to see how I'm feeling. Anyway, so I'll be right back. Ask for songs. Just kidding. And yeah, we'll go from there. Christy did make it to one of the ones over the weekend, I think, the one that Mark was on. Still, the most recent comment is pineapple and pizza. Okay, until there's another one. I'm not too sure if this place's pizza looks that great, to be honest. There's something odd about the pictures of them. And I'd show them if I was doing this on my laptop, I mean, on my cell phone. Uh, but I'm looking at both of them on the laptop. Like, they don't look, I don't know, there's something about it. I don't know what it is. That one looks kind of all right. I don't know if it's, and this might sound odd, I don't know if it's just that there's too many toppings I'm not seeing the cheese enough. I don't know what it is, and now I feel like I want to show you. I want to get your words for it. So just a moment here. I mean, what I just saw a moment ago. Yeah, and that says where it's from. So just a moment here. But yeah, peeps, do good. Do what you want done to you, or not do. So they have pictures on there. While weirdly, like kind of in the review tab, it only shows two, and one's like chicken and fries, and one's the outside of the building, and the other ones don't want to load. If I go to the menu, don't make me select locations. Whatever you do. I think I just went to their website. It's being stupid and making me choose location. But okay, I'll do it. Now show me your pizzas. Ow. Their site, and I kind of remember this before, their site's being stupid. But that looks like one where it's almost like a cherry tomato on the pizza, but it might have been a pepperoni. Anyway, so I don't know if I'd rather actually order something else. Because technically, I did have a couple pieces of pizza for breakfast. Like I say, it was because it's one of those foods. Like I say, though, it just was kind of, and then that's not even, yeah. Um, I'm eating with my eyes right now, and I mean, the veggie combo one looks kind of all right. I guess because there's not meat toppings on it, so it's easier to see the cheese. I don't know. Hi, how are you? I don't know what that funky symbol's doing there, but how are you? I'm just looking at food right now. Yeah, I'm being one of those streamers. At least I'm not doing a sleep stream. Like I don't understand though. In fact, I commented on one the other day. Said, Why is this a sleep stream?" And then I thought I saw the guy's face move a little bit. And it's like, oh, yeah. It was a good judge me for asking, but I mean, so what if he did? Like, I don't understand. I mean, I guess some people, if they live alone and they feel some sort of comfort doing that, but they could feel a variety of things. Mostly the pizza talk. The deluxe one looks okay too. Why do those ones look so much better than the other ones in the picture? Well, maybe not so much, but they look better, and I don't know why. Mushrooms is one of those things, like on pizza, eating mushrooms. I've started to get back into them, but I'm really not that into them. I don't know. And I'm not really into the like any sort of peppers. But I used to. See, I used to be into like green peppers and stuff. I don't know. It seems like my stomach doesn't like them as much lately. So got to listen to our body, right? But I'm not too sure what I feel about beef on pizza. I might have beef with that. What I could go for is a nice chorizo sausage on pizza. I don't do a lot of sausage either, but I had truffle cream cheese. Well, ain't you fancy? I need more. See, truffles is a chocolate and a mushroom, right? But I think you're meaning the mushroom. I don't think we even have that here. That type. As you get older, the peppers are hard to. Oh, okay, really? So you mean I'm getting old? I didn't know that. I don't know. Also, well, that's a large, but then we'd have some left over. But you would say, "Oh, you have had two pizzas today, and I haven't had either of them fresh." It's like, honestly, some pizza, it seems like, especially restaurant pizza, it's kind of almost better the next day. Personally, whether he's going to agree with that, who knows? Oh, Foxy sounds delicious. That sounded a certain sort of way. I'm just glad we have at least two of you chatting, but there's four others of you that don't seem to be, and I demand to know why. And I think that made it sound like I was joking, although I'm not entirely, but mostly I am. I'm kind of wanting to look at. Okay, keep the comments coming actively. I'll check the top ones that show in view, but I'm mostly looking at this because when we get our groceries, what am I? Like we get a lot of juice, we get milk, we get he got so many crackers. Uh, we got a couple pastas. We eat a lot of pasta. There was quite a few bags, but I really like. I think about back at it. It's not that I'm not thankful, but it's like, did we really get all that much to eat? And most of the time, it feels like no, which is weird but true. It's unreal nomness. I don't know if I've ever heard of nomness. I've heard of nom nom. Chop to give kiss, chop to give you nut. To the three of you that aren't saying anything. Can you at least like? There's got to be something to like. Are you guys seriously trying to tell me, the ones that aren't commenting, that you don't like pizza? Like, come on now. It can be, but if you're deathly allergic, I would kind of recommend not. What do you guys think about Middle Eastern food? Again, with that, I don't mind, and even a little bit of spice. We were in an area recently, and there was so many Asian restaurants, but it was something about that area. I can't remember or put it into words at the moment where it wasn't unusual. And it also was kind of low income area. And therefore also Indian restaurants. And there was with that relative that I was mentioning earlier. And I said, "Do you want to just do that?" And she's like, "I was like, do you like that kind of stuff?" She's like, "Well, I don't. I like butter chicken. I don't really like the rest of it." I mean, you're gonna say nah to naan? And essentially, it's vegetables. I know they're big about their spices and they're big about their sauce, but I mean, they also have deals. Perhaps I don't know what BOGO is. Does anybody? I mean, some of you maybe don't even have this website there, but do you know what a BOGO deal is? Buy one get one. Yeah. They found a mosaic in ancient Pompeii that shows a perfect age of pizza, looking nonness of pizzaness. Somebody was saying the other day that a Burger King burger can not go gross and be not eaten for like a long time. Generally great, but sometimes way too much parsley or mint in the recipes for my palate. I'm cilantro. I'm not big about mint. Yeah, I mean, actually, there's very few things other than toothpaste and mint candies, which I hardly ever eat. That I would say mint really goes in. G's had mint Oreos before, and I'm thinking, what? As I say, what? Yeah, and a place called cilantro. Um, buy one get one. That's. I've often been kind of curious about this place. Buy one get one fairly free. Fancy free? Is that what that means? And if anybody does, they don't have connections, I'm jealous of this guy. Hey, I feel that sometimes too, but you join in the chat, you won't feel that. I just made Timmy's Middle, no, that must be a brand I'm not familiar with. Middle Eastern carrot stew. I liked it. Um, Never heard of that. I don't think I've heard of that either. But it looks like it's a sandwich shop. Whoops. Dismiss. Whatever that was. Class dismissed. Just kidding. Um, you do like your honey, don't you, honey? Just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, it looks like that's clickable, but I guess it's not. I have so much fresh garden mint growing in the garden. Yeah. And G and kind of me, I and many others local, like, when can we start gardening? Like the garden centers, not that, he has a lot of, I think, what it's called perennials that come up every year. And as long as the deer don't get them, we're good. But um and that one's always kind of funny. But what do you call it? Yeah, they've already opened, and it's like, I mean, just a day or two ago, I said, look at all the green grass on the property next door, and then we go to bed and wake up, and and G said, oh, we got a little snow, but I don't think he was joking, but I don't think he fully processed how much we'd actually gotten. I have too much green garden mint growing in the garden. So versatile for cooking. Lovely at mess buds. Now that might be good. Speaking of, anybody see potatoes? Just kidding. Eat your face off. Highlight real deals. What's your play? I don't understand that. And if I don't understand it, I probably should look at it then, right? All fast food stuff anyway. Use code NOW10 for $10 off your 30 plus order. Which would mean, I don't know if that means it has to be 31 or 30 counts. I think it would have to be 31 or above. And then you can get it down to 20. That's not bad. There's only three options there. One I've never heard of, but it has spicy in the name of the place. One that, yeah, another Middle Eastern one. See, that's the thing. Again, I don't hate that stuff. Looks like there's nobody here now, but that can't be right. I don't hate that stuff. I have to be in the mood for it. But you just said Spuds, and I don't think I've ever heard of this place, and it's kind of got a weird name. It must be new. Kind of got a weird name, but I'm curious about it. It's not necessarily a deal, but let me just see here for a moment. I don't actually do a lot of potatoes, and it's not because I don't like them. They're just so starchy and heavy, and that's a little odd, though. When I search this place, normally it shows. I know it's potatoes. That's why I started talking about potatoes. Hours later, he might get here. Well, at least you're not getting too drunk while we're talking. Anyway, you can search a thing, and it'll show you like website, call, whatever there's like four or five different buttons, right? And it usually shows you an option to see reviews. It's not doing that. We've got their website and a little blurb underneath it without clicking it, where it's all in caps. Then we've got the menu. Then we've got Instagram. Then we've got Uber Eats, which has a 4.8 review with 21 reviews. Then we have somebody asking on Facebook. That might be the best place to look. Then there's skip the dishes. Then there's DoorDash. Then there's TikTok video, but that I don't think is that place. I think it just must be a phrase for stuffed potatoes that have, which is not Spudsters, but and yeah, I'll think of Fran, Mr. Because we used to have those often with her, and also how their long relationship split after 30 something years. But if it's not just a boring old potato, I might enjoy it. It is new. I think this is the same. I'm a bit confused, and this is kind of maybe ironic. You might find coming from me, but somebody says, "Oh, now I'm going to think about Kyla," but then Christopher too. But not, that's okay, even though he sometimes isn't here very long. Whatever. Have you ever heard of a ghost kitchen? Somebody says places that sell food out of restaurants. Isn't that what a restaurant is? Dates. I didn't know that. Turkish barbecue is very big. I've never had that. I think what it means is like in a food court. That's what I'm kind of getting. I mean, somebody mentioned something else that's in the food court, and then two other people. Oh, I could think of Ray. Two other people are thinking it seems sketchy. They didn't say food court, but they did say. Um, I don't know if that's only specific to here, so I don't want to say. But yeah, it seems like we may have had a new one too. It's called sloppy. Well, yeah, but these are nom. Is that your favorite word, Sam? Nah, non nom. Yeah. Um, Ghost kitchen. Am I understanding this right? But you're not getting food there, are you? You're getting food, which have a different menu and different flavor. That's like saying you aren't going to drink smart water because you don't like how Coca Cola tastes. What? Smart water, I don't think is all that smart either. It's no smarter than other water. It kind of doesn't have a brain. Yeah. Oh, that one. Interestingly, that's mine as well. Okay, so what it actually means is they use the same kitchen as another place, probably in a food court, because we know that a lot of those are very small, and so maybe yeah, they have to combine them sometimes. 1 to 3 pierogies in an order. Well, that's a what do you call it? Scam. By the way, there are UPS scams going on right now, or at least in our neighborhood, but they or in our city, but they also go in other places too. And there was also an email one that they say, "Hi, haven't talked to you for a while. Um, I'm thinking of moving into the city and was wondering if there's any good neighborhoods or something else. I look forward to reconnecting soon. Sincerely." And then it says a name, and it doesn't say where they're from. Doesn't say how they knew each other. or how and then I blocked it, and then the next day hit another one. So I said, "This is phishing." Essentially, and she's like, "Just touching base. I hope I didn't bother you, or whatever." It's like, yeah, actually, you did. Anyway, um, well, I'm not seeing. Okay, here we go. What do you guys think about donairs? I remember once it was just so loaded with meat, like they could actually save money and spread that out a little bit longer. But I guess if it's more than a day fresh, they maybe feel like they can't serve it. But as far as I'm concerned, and they should be given ownership, by the way. As far as I'm concerned, most of us eat food that's 2 or 3 days, you know, not not fresh a lot of the time. Well, the sun's came out. Most of the snow looks like it's melted off that tree, which is nice. But my appointment would have probably been almost done by now. Um, I almost want to go out for a bit of a walk. I'm still not feeling that great, but maybe a little bit better. And I actually have the chatters to thank for that because I feel like you've got me in a happy mood. So not that I was hugely unhappy before, but you could say. Just kidding. Now my whoops. So yeah, I may or may not have a funeral to go to tomorrow. It's not someone I was super close with, but kind of. Any connection that mattered is a connection that matters. Or to go to support the family. But it's a tragic bus accident. But even if it wasn't walking distance, like I don't have cash on me, so it has to be ordered via Skip actually. And I just know that even though it won't be icy, there's a lot of snow to kind of walk through, and yeah, I might poke my head outside in a moment. I'm almost craving tacos. Although that location, speaking about, we got two here right now, and I don't think now four. I just have to get some fresh air for a moment. Just poke my head